So I finished Halo Infinite and I did enjoy it. I thought the story was probably one of the better stories in Halo, just in general, in terms of the games that I've played in the past. Now, I thought about the open world and the reservations I had with it, and I think that once I got towards the end, you go from this open world and then all of a sudden you're forced into these sort of narrow corridors, and it almost feels like the original Halo where it's not open world at all. And that is a bit jarring. But after thinking about it, I came to the conclusion that in order to tell a really good story, in order to have that tightly woven story and that emotional impact that you need, you really can't do that in an open world. You can't have characters relate to one another and tell story in a huge open world when there's so much to do and so much to see. So I think the design choice was a really brilliant one to sort of scale everything back down to these really tight, intimate corridors and have the story elements, the beats that mean something within the world, told in that way. So I am glad that they decided to take that open world approach, and all of the new gameplay elements that are included in allowing you to have that open world are very compelling. I loved exploring the world. I loved using the grapple hook. That is something that should be in every single Halo going forward. I just love, latching onto things and flinging Chief around and exploring and just existing in the Halo world. But to centralize the story, you simply can't have a huge open world like this. The emotional impact of Cortana, what she did, Chief, his relationship to Cortana and the weapon, all of that stuff is told in a much more meaningful way when you sort of shrink the world down and have it just be this intimate relationship between the player and the characters in the world. And I like that they decided to do that. I like that you go into these corridors and it feels like the old Halo. And at times, when it first happens, you're kind of like, I want to go back to that open world. What happened? Why am I in this corridor? Why did they decide to do this? And I've seen some people say that there were two different design choices and it feels like, both won out and they weren't sure what to do. But I think that they knew in order to tell a story that had meaning, you simply can't do it in a large open world like this. You need to shrink it down so that one character is talking to another character, and that story beat that you want to have meaning can have meaning. Think about some of the best narrative-driven games out there. Ghost of Tsushima, Horizon Zero Dawn, Last of Us 2. In those games, there is a huge open world to explore. You're doing things in an outdoor environment for most of those games, but the really important storytelling elements are done usually within one room where one character is relating to another, or in a really confined space to make that impact, to make that story beat have meaning. Now, I definitely enjoyed the game. However, I'm left wanting more out of Chief. I know that he's this stoic space marine, but I think it's time for him to have a lot more dimension to him. It needs to evolve. We need to see a sort of Kratos to old dad Kratos that we saw in 2018's God of War with Master Chief. So those are my thoughts on Halo Infinite. I did finish the game. I enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about this game. Let me know what you think about Halo going forward. Are you excited? Do you see this 10-year plan panning out, or do we need a new Halo game, say, within the next 6 to 7 years? Thanks for watching the video. Think about sharing it out on your favorite social media platform of choice. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next video.